But you got a flag down.
Oofside.
Everyone but the center. Offense.
Welcome to Oofsides, everybody, for episode 16, the regular season finale. We got Jack. We got Garrett.
I'm back.
And Austin's here as well.
Yep.
Fuck you.
How you guys doing? Totally not anything crazy happening today.
Totally not.
Yeah, no.
That's football.
Yeah, just
We live in a
football.
society.
good old.
We
good
really
old,
do.
Good
We
old.
really do.
Let's talk about that good old pigskin.
Did you guys see the picture that I posted of the guy with the Joker
no.
makeup on at the
Yeah, I did.
riot?
Oh yeah, yeah. The guy showed
Yeah.
up full Joker uniform or
Oh.
outfit or whatever.
Anyway, that's all kind of cooled down, so we can talk about football now. Week
I'd say
17 has come and gone. The playoffs are set.
Yep.
How you guys feeling?
Decent football,
Yeah.
kind of.
Well, I'd like
Uh,
to cry, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As we
considering
all.
my two favorite teams combined for 6 wins this season, I
Wow.
don't feel that great.
Wait, what's your other team?
The Lions.
Oh, fuck. That's right.
You're a fucking idiot.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Well, if it makes you feel better, Noah decided to jump off the Lions bandwagon and get onto the Browns bandwagon with me, and we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. I mean, I've kind of started liking them too because they're the underdog. Like they haven't made it in a while type thing.
Before we get into the games, should I change? I think I made some kind of bet or whatever at the start of the season that I would change my icon to the Browns helmet instead of the Cowboys.
I don't remember this bullshit.
Oh yeah, I do believe you said that though.
Yeah, I don't remember what the conditions of it were, but I was like, should I do that? Because
I think it's
Yeah.
playoff now. I feel
I
like
think honestly, I think I'm more of a Browns fan than I am a Cowboys fan at this point.
You are
I still
definitely
love
more of a Browns fan.
I still love the Cowboys, but I was rooting for the Browns to beat the Cowboys earlier this year.
Do you
So,
think we should
yeah.
change our icons to be the playoff team we think is gonna we're gonna be on board with for the playoffs?
I mean, it's more just to represent who's a fan of what team.
Yeah.
So
Crap.
I don't know. I mean, if people listen to the show, they can figure out what bandwagons we're hopping
Yeah,
on.
the-
So
Person or two, maybe.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe for next season, I'll change it to the Browns helmet. But I think for now, I'll ride it out as a Cowboys fan. So
How
Anyway.
is that?
Yeah.
Talk about.
let's just oh, what were you gonna say?
Are we gonna talk about football week 17?
Yeah, we'll kind
Aw,
of
yeah.
sprinkle in the news as we get through
I
it.
don't
Jack,
even
why do you sound
remember
like
what
you're
that-
dying?
Cause I'm tired. I want to go. I woke up at 8:00. Someone beating a fucking nail into the ground. It's really fun. I just want to go nap time. Why are you laughing at me, you piece of shit?
You're gonna be the Dewey of this podcast. for
I
the rest
swear to
of the time
God,
we're here.
Dewey's not on this podcast for a reason.
I don't. No one knows who Dewey
reason-
is.
Yeah, but
True.
For
Dude.
context, one, he's a Patriots fan, and
Yeah.
two,
Gross.
he'd fall asleep in the middle of the podcast.
Yeah. And to emphasize, this is another thing where I was like, I wonder if Dewey thinks I hate him because of how much I bully him.
We all
Um,
bully Dewey.
Yeah, but when he's been doom and gloom about the Patriots, and I made that meme of Charlie and Mac, and they're like, "Oh, is someone experiencing their first losing season?
Oh no.
Is someone get addicted to crack?"
It's fucking. That's how I think of every time he complains about the Patriots. I'm just like, just thinking
Or
about that.
or it's like that gif of Jerry Seinfeld eating popcorn, and he's just like, "Shame."
Oh no. Anyway.
Anyway, let's get into week 17.
Yay.
Starting with Austin's team beating the Lions 37-35.
And can I just say, in the high-scoring matchup that literally no one cared about or saw coming.
Well, yeah, it doesn't have any playoff fucking implications. It's
Yeah,
like
but,
it's like Big 12 football basically.
I mean, neither of those teams had anything to play for at all, and they just went out and balled out for absolutely no reason, and I don't know why. But
I
I
mean,
was here for it.
It had everything for everything to stick to the script for the Lions because it had Matt Stafford injured as fuck and had a bullshit call that screwed him over.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
So,
also
as indeed it.
origami, so
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Also,
It was one of. Oh no, wait. This
No,
wasn't the
that
Scorigami
was
game.
not Scorigami.
I lied.
Fi-
Fucking idiot.
Fired.
That was the Bills game, you mouth breather.
You were like all the way fired.
Yeah.
Stupid
Damn.
crap.
One person I'd like to give a shout out to because we haven't given much credit this season. Austin probably will be able to back me up on this, but man, Justin Jefferson has had a hell of a rookie season and has really worked out for this trade for get rid of Diggs, and he's been in place now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. He's been probably the best part of our entire offense besides Dalvin Cook. And not gonna lie, I really hope Kirk Cousins being shit doesn't drive him away from our team the same way Diggs was driven away from our team. Because there's already been multiple occasions where Justin has been screaming at Kirk to throw him the damn ball, and Kirk just kind of like sits there in the pocket and goes, "Woo!"
He's trying to look for
He makes
CJ
that sound
Ham.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to find Diggs again.
Where's the check?
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's right. God, I hope they play the
What?
Bills so he can just like throw it to hit Diggs on the sideline. He's like, "Are you fucking?"
Remember, I think I know why Diggs is doing so well in Buffalo. It's because in Josh Allen's rookie season, Josh Allen leaped over a Vikings player,
He hurdled a man.
and then Diggs just saw that and was instantly erect and just came to Buffalo.
Literally.
Yeah. It was like a magnet, but with his dick.
Anyway, that brought an end to the Lions season.
All right. Darn.
Vikings ended up 7-9. They probably contended for like most disappointing team of the season, if I'm being honest. I mean, there's one other team that definitely takes that over them, but I had them winning the division, and they had a losing record. And Kirk Cousins ended up being not good.
Well, my thing was
Sometimes.
with the
Sometimes
Vikings,
he was good, and then sometimes he wasn't.
Yeah,
honestly,
I will say this last week he was pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
they did it right around where I expected them to be because they're like in the situation with the Texans were with giving their best receiver away and what do you got now type thing.
Yeah,
So
they did a much better job getting something in return for it, though.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I personally think this is about how I expected the Vikings season to go. My biggest goal for them was to barely slide into the playoffs and be a first round exit.
Jeez.
But I also expected us to go like 4-12. So, this is a happy medium.
Real
Yeah.
doomer hours.
But now we just have like we barely missed the playoffs and a shitty draft pick. So,
Yeah.
Also, do we think this is Matt Stafford's last game as a Lion?
no.
I hope. I certainly hope.
What's his contract look like? Because it's like he's been in the league for 10 years now. Like, at what point does he decide he wants to actually win football games? Because it's just not going to happen. Like, Detroit
Yeah.
has to rebuild again.
Yeah.
He's 32.
My thing is who's going to do the Philip Rivers thing and take him?
I think a number of teams would take him
Oh
on.
yeah.
He's still
I
got
think
plenty of
Minnesota-
years.
Oh wait, we have a giant buyout. Never mind.
He's got 2 more years left on his deal. And like he's only 32.
Well, isn't there an opt-out option?
I don't know anything about that.
If there's a player
There
option,
is.
he'll definitely stick around next year and take the opt out the next year.
Yeah.
Guess.
But I mean, even then, I personally kind of feel like he's sold his soul to Detroit, and he's just gonna kind of vibe there till he retires.
He really
kind of
shouldn't.
like Calvin Johnson did.
I don't
Calvin
want
Johnson
him.
got in too deep and just kind of
Yeah.
sold his soul to Detroit.
Yeah, but I don't want him to retire at very young. That's the thing.
Yeah, same.
'Cause,
Yeah, I don't want him to Andrew Luck it.
Yeah, I want him to actually have a playoff win
Yeah.
or multiple playoff appearances.
I think Stafford will probably definitely be, like, if he stays at the Lions, he'll definitely be the best quarterback to never win a fucking playoff game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I'm
Ouch.
trying to think of who would be in that category.
Yeah, me too.
I don't
was trying to
fucking
think
know.
of like,
I'm gonna put this in my notes, not Blake Bortles.
Because
Because if you look at like, there's a lot of guys who struggled in the playoffs along their career, but it's like Tony Romo, Randall Cunningham,
Could you
Warren
put-
Moon. They all have a
Yeah.
playoff win.
they do.
Did Dalton have?
Oh, Andy Dalton's
Nope.
never won a playoff game. That's a good one.
'Cause he spent
I would
most of
say
his career
Stafford's
with the
better than
Bengals.
Dalton.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's
yeah.
the thing. Bengals, so I was like, when is the last time they made a playoff appearance? And Matt would probably answer that question for me.
2015. Good old Vontez Perfect. Oh, another. Did Carson Palmer ever win a?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he won a game with the Cardinals late in his career.
Yep. He beat the Packers in the wild card that one year.
Yep.
Wait, did he?
Yeah. 2014
because-
was the year he got hurt, and then 2015 they got to the NFC
Oh,
Championship.
that's right.
Both games went into overtime because they played each other in the regular season too. And I think the Packers won the first one on a Rodgers Hail Mary, and then the Cardinals won the second one on Larry Fitzgerald being the best receiver of all time.
Oof.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Those
Carson
Vikings
Palmer
Lions.
deserved. Carson Palmer deserved
Yeah,
so much goddamn better.
He did.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
first game of the week.
That's why I was really happy to see him go to the Cardinals and show like, no, I've still got it. So
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
anyway, we got off
Yeah.
topic. Buccaneers shit stomp the Falcons because Falcons bad.
Yeah.
Lol.
Well, I
Um,
mean, it wasn't really a shit stomping
It
until
wasn't.
the
But-
fourth quarter.
Then
Yeah.
the Falcons falconed.
The Falcons
um,
realize that they don't have a defense.
Even when they don't have a lead, they still choke.
Yeah.
There was a time where this was it.
Hmm.
They were only down 10 and they'd just gotten into Tampa territory and they fumbled it. And so
of course, they
yeah. And then
First time-
Tampa scored in 3 plays and
Yep.
yeah.
First time in
And
16
then
years
they
that the
shut up the
Buccaneers
score.
had an 11-win season.
Yep, first
Mhm.
time they made the playoffs since 2007 as well.
And I'll talk about that later.
Also, Tom Brady just kind of fucked around and threw 40 touchdowns, and I didn't even notice.
Yeah, he had kind of I don't want to say quiet because he obviously performed.
Well, I
pretty-
mean,
we kind of at the
he-
start of the season with some of the games like the Saints and
Yeah,
where
Well,
we
he
kind of
has,
questioned
like,
it.
he has like the best receiving core in the NFL.
That
so,
is also true.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, you can't go wrong when you have
You put, like-
Godwin, Evans, Gronkowski, and now Brown's getting on his feet
Yeah.
and going.
like if Aaron Rodgers on there, Aaron Rodgers would get like 60 touchdowns.
yeah.
Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers would
Yep.
be fucking terrifying
Give Aaron Rodgers 5 years with his team, and he'd probably go to the Super Bowl with all 5.
and win all of them.
Yeah.
I will
And-
say this about the Bucks: we've had our doubts about them, but they are definitely ending on a high note.
Yeah.
Because this is 2
They've-
weeks. They basically, or no, this is 4 weeks in a row. They have just beat up on bad teams. Like, it's kind of the idea of the get right game in the league or whatever, where it's just like, just go out there and just stomp the shit out of a bad team like they did to the Lions last week, and then a pretty commanding win in the fourth quarter over the Falcons. Like they're rolling into the playoffs with momentum now.
Hmm.
I don't know if they're going all the way, but like with all of the holes and all the NFC teams, they're definitely looking strong again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I think they can do anything is because there's no other NFC team that hasn't proven a weakness this season.
And
Yeah.
Um
Well,
it's Brady in January.
yeah.
plus, the only team that I can think of that could probably easily beat the Bucks is the Packers. But even then, the Bucks
They
beat
got
them earlier
stomped
in
by
the
them
Yeah,
in
the
their
Bucks
own
kicked
meeting.
their asses earlier this
That's the
year.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Granted, the
circle of
Packers
suck.
the Packers that played the Bears this week are not the Packers who lost 38
is
to 10
true.
against the Bucks.
Yeah.
They look like a completely different team.
Yeah, they've turned it
honestly.
up a notch.
Mhm.
Yep,
Anyway, next game.
that was that. Speaking of Brady's old team, the Patriots went out on a high note.
God
And maybe
damn it.
maybe the end of the Cam Newton era. But Cam
Mhm.
looked pretty good. They beat the Jets 28-14. And
He actually threw touchdown passes.
much to the chagrin of a number of people on this this podcast, Adam Gase has been fired.
Listen,
Brian,
I'm so
Look at
pissed.
so
that.
sad.
I'm so pissed that Cam Newton became a quarterback because the Patriots, and this is all of the quarterbacks combined, have 10 passing touchdowns this season, and 3 of them were last week.
Yep.
So
Wow.
I am
That's-
pissed beyond belief that
Oof.
Cam showed up to be an actual quarterback. The one time I had faith in the Jets. Because they almost
Well-
beat him earlier in the season.
Man, that's the thing too, is I wasn't here to talk about the Jets winning their first game. So I wanted them to win number 3 so I could talk about them winning, but no. So So both
Alright.
times I wasn't on the podcast, I won. I think we need to let me.
You need to
take
be
a
on the
break. I need-
podcast more, Garrett.
Yeah, sucks to suck, loser.
But then if I miss the whole next season of the podcast, they win the Super Bowl.
True.
Shit,
Uh-oh.
you might be onto something.
Uh-oh.
Let's see who they get in the offseason, if they stick with Darnold or not.
Absolutely the fuck not they are.
I
Well-
will say this: well, actually, go ahead and finish what you were going to say first.
I really didn't have much to say, but I mean, yeah, they have a high draft pick, so I mean, it would be stupid not to go for a quarterback. But I also could see them
Mhm.
trying to make something work with Darnold. If they keep him as a second or whatever. We'll see.
I was going
I-
to say though about Cam Newton's future with the Patriots. Like, there's all this media speculation that he's done, but like somebody asked Belichick about it, and he was like pretty fucking pissed that they were asking him that.
Hmm.
So who knows?
Yeah, I don't.
I'm glad Cam ended on a high note, like with a really fucking good game, because that's what he needed. But
Yeah.
as much as we all want to root against the Patriots, I'm kind of bummed the Cam Newton experience didn't really work out. But yeah,
I sure as fuck ain't. I mean, I'm happy that they
for
turned
Cam
into
Newton's
shit.
sake, I'm upset. that it
I
didn't
don't
work out.
care. He went to the Patriots. Fuck the Patriots.
I feel like it would have worked better if they kind of had a receiving core,
Yeah,
Mhm.
because they like N'Keal Harry is not really shaping up to the player the Patriots drafted him to be.
Like
and
all
I'm gonna be
Patriots wide
honest.
receivers.
I'm gonna be honest. I can't name another receiver on the Patriots.
I mean Edelman's there, but I don't think I've heard
Is he really
nothing
there?
from him all season.
Yeah,
he's not good in the regular season until the fucking playoffs.
Yeah,
That's the thing with Edelman.
so
Or well, he doesn't show up until the playoffs.
yeah, the Patriots had a lot more problems than just Cam Newton. Like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and that's
all
why
of
I
their
kind of
best defensive players opted out. They have no receiving core. So yeah.
I just kind of hope
You love to
that,
see it.
I just kind of
Love
hope
to see
that
it.
they don't give up on Cam.
Yeah, same.
Because the thing is, I don't know where else he can go, and like if a team will mesh
Goes
to
back
him.
to Carolina.
God.
Ugh.
So
I don't know.
I'm hoping they give him another year just for Cam
Watch
Newton's
like
sake.
the
so.
Jets or some shit pick up Cam Newton. That'd be
Oh
some
my God.
dumbass shit. Instead of picking up a quarterback, they just fucking get what's that really good wide receiver? Devonta Smith, right? Who won
In
the
college?
Heisman?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Him.
Devonta Smith won the
Yeah,
Heisman.
they draft him second overall. And then they sign Cam Newton.
God. Speaking of the Jets, we should probably say something about him. Darnold is Darnold, and
In purgatory
I hope
or hell. Either way.
I hope he gets freed and goes to a good team. Frank Gore said he'd be open to return for another year,
Let's fucking go!
so that'd be pretty cool.
Big win.
And that's about it. So.
All right. Yeah.
The first of the games with
Mm.
playoff implications, the Dolphins fucking steamrolled. Or sorry, the Bills steamrolled the Dolphins. I read that.
Yeah.
backwards.
The Dolphins steamrolled themselves.
Yeah, the Dolphins got shit stomped.
And unfortunately, they
Oof.
didn't have their relief pitcher because Ryan Fitzpatrick had COVID.
Yeah.
So Tua was out there, and it was not pretty.
Yeah, Tua had a very bad game.
That said,
That's
they also
what I
asked him
watched.
to pass it 58 times.
Yeah,
I was
which is-
about to bring up why.
I don't know either.
Why
They probably should have ran him a lot more.
they
Gonna be
they
honest.
have Miles Gaskin, who
Yeah.
has performed pretty decently this season.
I think it was just a
Why?
case of playing from behind because the Bills dropped 28 points on them in the second
Yeah.
quarter.
Yeah.
And it was
I
like,
guess
we
but
got to start
even-
playing catch up.
And
Even
then,
there's no excuse for having forcing a rookie quarterback in a playoff winner go home.
Pretty much
game.
a playoff game. They have to
Yeah.
win to get in, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, there's no excuse putting that pressure on a quarterback. I understand the thought of we need to do something, but
Oosh.
yeah. But hey, scoregami.
Yep.
Bill starters only played the first half and they scored 28 points. And then Matt Barkley came in and was throwing dimes, and then
and
basically nothing really to talk about other than the Bills shit stomped them.
yeah,
Shit
unfortunately,
stomped
of
them with
all
best
of the
defensive,
win in your in games in Week 17 for the AFC, the Dolphins were pretty much the only ones who faced a really formidable foe at their
Yep.
full strength, and
Yep.
it showed.
Team
So,
that hasn't lost since the Hail Murray.
and it's a bummer because I liked this year's Dolphins. I kind of expected them to be the odd ones out when it came to this Sunday. But they've shown that they are definitely going to be well, I should say, I won't say definitely a force to be reckoned with because there are some questions about Tua.
Yeah.
But next year and his second, third years will definitely be a better evaluation of like what he is as a passer.
Yeah.
But it's definitely shown how good of a coach Brian Flores is.
Yeah, I think so.
Good coach.
I think I kind of realized that they weren't good. I've kind of realized they weren't going to make the playoffs after they lost to the Broncos because that's one of the few
Mhm.
games this season that I watched the whole thing and I was like,
the one that came
Jesus,
back
this
to bite
team-
them.
Yeah.
There's another thing I want to point out. The Bills have scored 47, have averaged 47 points in the past 3 games.
They also scored more than
That is-
500 points in the regular season, according to what I read.
That is what I like to hear right there. That is shit stomping teams.
They also, Josh Allen's basically scored more touchdowns than the number of punts they've had all season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's actually right.
I think
I think the
I think
Bills
it's
have-
passing and ones he's like
Aaron
run
Rodgers
for.
did
Yeah,
that
I
too.
guess.
Rodgers
Aaron
has
Rodgers did
thrown
that, yeah.
purely for more touchdowns than the times
Yeah.
they've punted, but I think it's like Allen has thrown, run, and caught more touchdowns than like the
Yeah.
number of punts they have.
Yeah. That's probably what it is.
It's really interesting to say that they've only had less than 20 points in 3 games and they lost 2 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, the other game that they won was against the Jets.
Yeah. That game was a fucking mess. God bless Tyler Bass.
Yeah.
He was the one who gave us all the points.
So with that, the Bills clinch the number 2 seed. There will be a home playoff game in Buffalo this year, and
With
I'm
fans.
fucking pumped.
Yeah, there's gonna be 6,000 fans gonna be there.
And you're gonna be there, right, Jack?
Absolutely the fuck not, because I live in California.
Worth a shot. I mean,
what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say when they played Jacksonville, they came from everywhere, so
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Bills fans are very passionate.
they are very passionate. Good lord.
Yeah.
Speaking of
They're
another
like-
passionate fan, go ahead.
The Bills fans are like rats. They come out out of the sewer when they're ready to feast.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
I
Yeah.
don't
So
know, I feel
anyway-
like you calling your team rats.
Yeah.
So your fans
Speaking
rats.
of
And-
another passionate
this fan base is known for throwing itself through tables and drinking beer.
not just tables, flaming tables.
Yeah, flaming
Yeah.
tables.
So
And it's like, what the fuck?
anyway, another passionate fan base finally gets their chance to celebrate because the
Yeah.
Cleveland motherfucking Browns beat the Steelers 24-22, and they're going to the playoffs.
Yeah. First time since
Dude,
when?
I cannot tell you how much anxiety I had all week waiting for this game. Genuinely, that was like one of the longest weeks of my life.
Mm.
And
How
it,
long? When was the last time the Browns went to the playoffs?
2002,
I wasn't even alive.
18 years. There are people who were born in Cleveland, have grown up and can vote, who have never seen a Cleveland Browns playoff game.
Yeah.
And no matter what or how this this weekend goes, which I'll talk about in a second of the situation that surrounds the team, I think myself and all of the diehard Browns fans in the world can say that they are enormously proud of this fucking team for getting there and for ending that horrific drought and just giving their fans something to fucking smile about, dude. Like, it makes me so fucking happy to see the Browns just winning.
Yeah.
After
Who
everything they've been through.
Who has the longest playoff drought now?
The Jets.
Oh, that's
Because the Buccaneers were the second longest one,
yeah.
and they made it. So the Jets haven't been there since 2010.
Jets. Jets suck.
So I should probably talk about the game. The Browns jumped out to a lead in the second half, but their offense kind of sputtered, and the Steelers got back in, scored a late touchdown, and then down 2, they went for the 2-point conversion, and the Browns broke it up. and then
Well-
recovered the onside kick.
They didn't really recover it. Just fucking what's his dick did a what's his dick.
Well, yeah, they
And
tried to.
overthrew it.
Well, that's what I was saying. Is like the
Yeah.
Steelers tried for the onside kick, and the Browns recovered it. Why do I keep saying the Jets?
You said the
Fuck.
Jets twice.
Yeah, dumbass.
And then I think the best
Big
part
Brown
was
fan.
that Baker got ran for the first down that iced it.
That was
And
nice.
you could tell like the 10,000 fans that were in the stadiums were fucking pumped.
Yeah, they lost their minds. That was amazing.
Yep.
And like there was still a scenario that if they didn't win this game, they could still get in. But it was like you're asking the Titans and I think the Colts both to lose, which one of those almost happened, but like it's easier to just win and be in.
Mm-hmm.
That said, they're rematching the Steelers next week. And in typical Cleveland Browns fashion, Kevin Stefanski, Coach of the Year candidate in my eyes, and basically the majority of the coaching staff, as well as Joe Patonio, a fucking offensive lineman who's been there since 2014. He lived through the 0-16 season. All got COVID.
Yeesh.
And that's a fucking bummer.
Yeah,
But-
especially because of how shaky that offense looks.
I would say, well, I don't know. I'd say the offense is the best part. It's the defense, I think, is the part that they struggle with.
I don't know.
I mean, they gave up, 47 points to the Ravens the other day?
While
They're-
scoring
they're
42. That was a
They're-
shootout. I wouldn't
Brown-
really.
Yeah.
The Browns are a weird team because they play really good defensive games, and then there's a next game where they don't have a
Yeah.
defense.
Yeah.
Or they have an
This
offense,
game-
but
I mean,
don't
they
have
dropped
defense.
41 points on the Titans. I don't think the offense is the problem with the Browns. Obviously, they had problems against the Jets because they didn't have any receivers, but yeah.
I'm a little concerned because Baker really did not play that well against the Steelers. I don't think he
Yeah.
even got 200 for passing yards.
Yeah.
No, it was 196.
Yeah, that's not awesome. It's not a great way to.
And they barely beat the team led by Mason Rudolph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which-
So-
Well,
Yeah, yeah.
while they rested Ben, they didn't rest any of their other offensive starters for some reason. Claypool was still out there. Connor was still out there. Juju was still out there. So really, it was just last year's Steelers, which got drugged to an 8-8, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That wasn't even a bad team.
What concerns me, because Ben hasn't looked great recently.
Mhm.
What concerns me is the Steelers' defense because they're going to have TJ Watt back and a
Oh, yeah.
couple of their other defensive starters. And I know Stefanski's going to be doing everything he can to make sure their special teams coordinator, whose name currently escapes me, who's basically interim head coach this week, he's doing everything he can to make sure he's as prepared going into this game. But it's like, Kevin Stefanski is the dude who has turned the Browns from a laughing stock into like one of the better teams in the entire league. So if there was one dude to fucking lose, of course it had to be him.
Yeah.
So that said, regardless of how this weekend goes, I am fucking so happy with this team. I didn't think they were going to beat the Steelers to begin with. This is kind of like another death blow. Who knows? It could still happen. I'm not going to get my hopes up too much, but I'm just fucking happy. I'm just happy to see him in the playoffs.
As a closet Browns fan for like half my life, I'm also very happy.
Yeah.
Because I think it's always been like the same as a lot of people, is just kind of a shared sympathy for the Browns because like they don't deserve this.
Yeah.
And to see them actually make the playoffs and really have a chance at maybe making a little bit of a run is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just really happy, and like the streak's over. And I think they're a team for the future. They're not there yet. To me, they're a lot like last year's Bills, which they've shown they can hang with the big names. They can't always beat them, but they can hang with them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Peace.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that's my Browns. I'm happy. Speaking of my other team,
Uh-oh.
we them fucking boys. The Giants won 23-19, and I actually was kind of rooting for the Giants because I didn't want the Cowboys in the playoffs. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't really watch much of this game.
They were
Oh,
battling they were battling for a hope.
First
I
of
think-
all, it was absolutely pissing down.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
It was a fun
Fortnite.
game to watch.
I think my favorite part of this was first off, you have Mike McCarthy not challenging what was clearly an incomplete pass because I don't know why, because he's Mike McCarthy.
Of course.
And then that resulted in a field goal, which put the Cowboys down 4, which meant then they had to fucking throw into the end zone on the next one, which resulted in an interception. And then the Giants were like, well, let's just run out the clock. And then they fumbled in one of the stupidest fucking scrums I've ever seen in my life. And they somehow still came up with it.
Battle of ineptitude.
Yeah.
I've got to say, the funniest part about the whole Mike McCarthy not challenging that thing is apparently in the in his tenure at Green Bay, Mike McCarthy
Tenure.
was second in the league in challenges with 84 challenges in that time span, and
Hey,
he chose
Mike,
not to challenge that.
Mike, the season's on the line. Should we do something?
Nah.
Nah. We got Andy Dalton.
Yeah, you got the Red Rocket in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very like Joe Buck said that, and I was like, "You fucking kidding me? That's the most Mike McCarthy thing I've ever heard."
You remember when Mike McCarthy was good?
No. In 2011, and then he fell off a fucking cliff. Yeah.
What happened, dude?
I don't know. You got to figure it out.
all the star players that he coached left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like even at the start of this year when the Cowboys roster was like stacked, I mean their defense sucked, but they just couldn't do fucking anything on offense. And it was like, what the fuck's going on?
I mean, I've always been a fan of it because FTP, but that's just a little bias.
I mean that was the most Cowboys way to end the season. So
Yeah.
It was funny. It was
Yeah.
funny.
this team is so weird. It doesn't make sense.
Let's move on to the next one.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say.
Yeah, there is.
The Ravens shit stomped the Bengals.
Really controlled their own destiny there.
Yeah.
Why did I pick
Right.
the Bengals?
Because you're stupid.
I
Because we
know-
wanted the Ravens to miss.
I know I explained it
Yeah.
last week in the episode, but I picked the Bengals and then I watched what was it at halftime? 17-3, and I was like, all right. And then they've dropped 21 in the third quarter, and I was like, I'm stupid.
Yeah, basically. Fuck.
So
Oh,
Stupid.
I
You
also
never
picked
get
the
the
Bengals
chance.
too. Because it was funny.
yeah,
But
Glad I didn't get the pick because I probably would have read the same bandwagon.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to will it into existence because it would help the Browns, but
mm,
Lamar Jackson only threw 18 passes and they scored 38 points.
yeah.
So fucking-
Shit stomping. There's nothing really much to talk about.
I know coming into, I'd say like a month ago, we were all like, I don't know about the Ravens, but is there a team that's like hotter than the Ravens right now outside of maybe the Bills?
I honestly don't know.
Packers.
Like, I genuinely think that Lamar Jackson like pooped in the middle of that Browns game, and then
And
he's
then
just
he's
been fucking on
Literally,
it.
he's shit stomping other teams.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was just being weighed down.
the only team that is probably on a bigger hot streak is probably the Packers.
Yeah,
Packers have been kind of nasty.
Packers and Bills are like the two
Yeah.
best looking teams right now,
Yeah.
and the Ravens.
We're not saying the Chiefs, but
Yeah, which we'll
I mean,
get
the
to them in a
last
moment.
last win the Packers got handed to them was an overtime loss against the Colts.
Yeah.
uh,
J.K. Dobbins ran for 160 yards.
yeah.
Lamar Jackson ran for 97. The Bengals didn't really do anything either. It was just like as lopsided. Brandon Allen was 6 for 21.
Ooh, pretty one.
Hell yeah.
So
There's nothing else to talk about.
hot take here: Bengals not very good.
Yeah.
Think they're frauds. So, speaking of teams that also aren't very good, Garrett, your
Yay.
Jacksonville Jaguars lose 14 to 28.
You had one job. You have the fucking first seed locked up in the draft. What else you got to play for?
I don't know.
Ugh.
Mike Glennon type.
It's weird because they made it look deceiving. they got 2 straight touchdowns coming, or one in the second quarter, one in the third quarter, and they made it look like they were coming back and had something. And Mike Glennon really had not too bad of a day until the fourth quarter.
And then he turned into Mike Glennon.
That's
And
the
then
Mike Glennon
and then the Mike
experience right
Glennon
there.
experience
Yeah.
showed up, and Jonathan freaking Taylor. Where
was
was
just about to
that
mention
all
that.
season?
Yeah.
30 carries for 253 yards and 2
Set a
touchdowns.
franchise
nasty.
record.
That is pretty nasty.
God damn.
And when they were only down 6, and then Jonathan Taylor broke away with 5 minutes left to go in the game or something. It was like a 70-yard run or whatever.
Mm.
And sealed the fate because the Colts, at the time frame, the Colts had to win.
Yep. Well, their scenario
They-
coming in was they had to win and somebody else had to lose for them to get in. And with the Dolphins losing, they were like, "Don't mind if I do."
Basically. Oh, yeah.
The Jags really fucked around and lost 15 in a row.
I really
That's impressive.
didn't think that would be the case, but
They are
here
the
we are.
second team in NFL history to do that. And
I was going to
so
say,
proud to
I
witness
know
it.
the 2001 Panthers did that.
They were the first team in NFL
Yeah,
history.
I was like,
so-
has anybody else done that? Well, there's the answer.
Yep.
Well,
And honestly, I feel like that's a bigger accomplishment or a worse thing than going 0-16.
yeah,
Because there was like a little bit of
could
hope
win a
at one
game.
point.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Mhm.
that's the thing is I talked about earlier in the season. They played a lot of stupid one-score games. They almost beat Green Bay. They almost beat the Titans. They almost beat. I mean, there's just a bunch of teams that they played stupid close that they shouldn't have, and just ended up losing anyway. So
And then
Yeah.
you think by the end, Doug Marrone is just like, fuck it, send Mike out there.
Yeah.
Speaking of Doug Marrone, he got fired
not
to the
surprised.
surprise
took
of
'em- it
literally
took-
nobody.
It took him way too fucking long to do it.
God.
It took him.
They were
what was
either
it,
a
2
team that
years
was going to
longer.
go 6-10
Should've-
or 0-16 this season, and
Yep.
Yeah.
they were pretty close to either one. So
God, I remember
Whoa.
week 3 when we were like excited for their matchup with the Dolphins, and we're like,
Um,
Gardner Minshew, baby, here we go.
and that
And now
game
we're
was
like,
so fucking boring.
yeah, because
and
in week
made me
3
wanna
it was like,
rip my eyes
oh,
out.
they're 1-1. They beat the Colts convincingly, and then they played the Titans stupid close in a shootout. So we were like, oh yeah, they should clap the Dolphins' cheeks, and then they got blown the fuck out on Thursday Night
Yep.
Football,
Well,
and basically sealed the fate for their season.
well,
yeah.
let's go move on to the next game because
Smile.
Yep.
yeah.
But
With
Colts-
that game
yeah.
ending the way it did, that gave the Colts a chance to not only get in the playoffs, but win the division. But the Titans had to lose and didn't go that way at the very end of that game as they beat the Texans 41-38. What a fucking ending, dude. Oh my God.
Shout out to
Yeah,
the
that-
Texans for being in Houston, Texans.
I feel bad for Deshaun
Yeah.
Watson because when the broadcast came on for me at towards the end of the game, there was a stat that said 7 out of 8 drives they've scored in the game.
Oh, yeah. Deshaun
And-
Watson, if he was on a winning team, he would be an MVP candidate. He had genuinely an incredible season.
Mm-hmm.
He's
But
got
he's
a
just-
70% completion rate this season.
Yeah, he is being wasted.
And they don't have a run offense, so that's the power.
Wow.
The final few minutes of this, though, which I actually got to watch, were pretty great, with Tennessee taking the 38-35 lead and then Houston kicking the game-tying field goal with 15 seconds left. And I think it was on first down when Tannehill just aired it out to, I think it was A.J. Brown,
Yup.
and he caught it at the 20-yard line, and I was like, no fucking way.
Yeah.
And then the kick by Sloman, which was the what was it?
He's,
It wasn't
he's the backup kicker.
yeah, but he doinked it off the fucking upright
Yeah.
through for a game-winning field goal, which
Yeah.
won the division for the Titans, which was pretty great.
I love the reaction from Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill.
Yes.
Henry
after
Henry
the-
said in an interview he thought he missed it.
Yep. Speaking of Derrick Henry, motherfucker ran for 250 yards because he just has the Texans numbers when it comes to running, and became only the 8th player ever to rush for 2,000 yards in a season.
Hell yeah. And I don't think this will be his last 2K season either.
No.
Oh,
What season is he in, by the way? I
He
don't
was
think
drafted in I think
this is-
2016. I think.
I don't know.
It's also worth pointing out this weekend was the first time in NFL history there were two 250-yard rushers on the same day in the same week.
Weren't they in the same division?
Yep.
Yeah, they're also in the same division with
Derrick
this.
Henry was drafted in 2016, by the way.
So he's only been in the league for what, 4 years?
Yeah. I remember there's somebody telling me that like he was going to be a bust because they were like, oh, he's too big, and it's like, no, Mike Mularkey just doesn't know how to use him.
Yeah, they did not use him very well at the start.
Yeah, because they were like, oh yeah, he's like 6'4". Let's make him like run up the gut where he has to be fucking elusive as shit. And then Vrabel came in and it was like, oh, so if we give him a chance to get up speed by like running sweeps to the outside or whatever, he'll just destroy people.
So, looking at the AFC South for next season, it's funny looking at it because you have Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor, James Robinson, and then you have Duke Johnson for the Texans.
Don't forget about the other Johnson, David Johnson.
Oh, true. But that's it's such a stacked running back division.
Yeah. God. So the Titans are in. I did want to ask, how are you feeling about the Titans? They're a hard team for me to judge.
I don't know.
Tannehill has to play well.
Yeah.
That's what I have to say. If Tannehill has a great day, then the whole team's going to have a great day.
Yeah, the offense has been good this year. It's their defense, I think, is the part that's concerning.
That's true.
Yeah.
So,
Defense.
I mean, they lost to the Bengals.
It's kind of like with the thing with like, and we'll get to this game later, but like with Russell Wilson, if Russell Wilson doesn't have a good day, you're in for a ride. Yeah.
I think they'll win a game. I think they will definitely be in the divisional round. A return to the AFC Championship, though, I don't know. Unless the defense finds a way to step up, it's going to be hard to shut down somebody like that because they're going to run into the Chiefs or the Bills or whatever good offense makes it out of the first round. So we'll see, though.
Yep.
Moving on to the next game. Cardinals Rams. I had the unfortunate pleasure of having to watch this game because it was one of only two that was on the whole time. I got the two worst fucking games on TV, and I'll rant about that a little bit.
I'm sad that Blake Bortles didn't start.
God, that was such a fucking garbage game. The Rams beat the Cardinals 18-7.
How the fuck did the Rams win?
Wolford was good on his feet.
They're a better
downs when they needed it.
Yeah,
Wolford is a better backup than Streveler.
Yeah.
Oh,
this is what it came down to, really.
That and the Rams are just a more complete team. So it's like what I've been saying, that the Cardinals are still a work in progress.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't. Excuse me. They didn't run it enough with Kenyon Drake, in my opinion. They just kind of kept relying on Streveler and an injured Kyler Murray, which, by the way, fuck the Cardinals for trying to play Murray through that injury. I understand they tried to make the playoffs, but
I think part of it
too, if you're going to be a franchise quarterback, then you need to. I would much rather say, fuck it. Okay, we're gonna lose.
Yeah. Well, I think the other thing is they were in it the whole time. They were only down like 3 or they were down like 5 points for most of the game, and then 8. It was a 1-score game for the most of the day, and like Kyler was fucking pissed that he was having to sit on the sideline because he hurt his ankle on their first drive. So I think a part of it was him saying like, "Yeah, I'm good. Let me in."
Yeah, like the Stafford thing with his shoulder.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just not. It's not good when your only touchdown of the day is because they threw a pick, and then their only touchdown of the day is because you threw a pick.
Yeah, it was just a fucking ugly game.
That was an awful game.
So,
I mean, shout out to Wolford for really not being that bad for being thrown into your first ever NFL game.
He didn't look terrible, but it was just like he's obviously the backup for a reason. So.
He didn't look like he really belonged.
Yeah. Like they have a solid backup in him. He can keep the ship afloat, but he's not going to be the reason you win games.
Mm-mm. And speaking of the Rams, they activated Goff, but he's still listed as questionable because he's been limited in practice.
We'll talk about that
So-
when we talk about playoffs, shit lips.
True.
Dumbass.
fuck you,
Jesus
Jack.
Christ.
But anyway, so the
Yeah.
Cardinals got eliminated.
Well,
I
they
know,
were still
anyway.
waiting on if the Bears lost, they would get in. So, or no, they had to win
No,
to get in. Sorry,
Yeah.
They had to win.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
So because of that, they let the fucking Bears back in. But we'll get to that in a second.
Happy.
We should just jump into that.
Yeah,
No,
we'll come back
no.
to the Saints.
No.
The
Wait.
Packers, I guess, victimized the Bears would be a right term.
I mean, yeah.
The Bears, they're just not good, dude. How
Yeah.
did they make the playoffs?
They're in a bad
because
conference.
the Cardinals didn't. I mean, would
Yeah, the
you
Car-
would you want
we're talk-
would you want the same inconsistent Cardinals to be in the playoffs too?
Yeah, I'd rather see because the Cardinals are at least exciting.
and talented.
The Bears are
haven't-
just boring.
Yeah,
The
but
Bears
it's like a fun
do
boring.
literally everything
No,
in the
it's
most
not.
mundane way.
It's like a fun boring. I like
There's no
watching the
such thing
Bears
as
because it's
fun
like
boring, Jack. Those
I
things are
like
literally
watching the
opposites.
Bear. I like watching the Bears because it's just like, how could it go wrong
Like a
this time?
morbid curiosity.
Yeah, it's like watching like a car crash or someone jump off a building.
Oh god.
Oh my gosh.
It's like,
Moving
is he
away
gonna-
from
when is he gonna
that-
hit the ground?
Matt might need to clip that.
the thing that pissed me off about this game is because this was the game that I was forced to watch, which I quit watching after a little while because it just pissed me off. The Bears looked good for the first like little bit of this game, and then there was that 70-yard touchdown to Valdez Scantling, and it derailed from there. The Bears looked lost after that happened.
Yeah.
God.
Because their first 2 drives of the game, they looked pretty solid, and I was like, holy shit, we could have a game right here. Because they drove straight down the field and scored a touchdown with the first drive of the game. And then they forced a Packer turnover really deep in their own territory and only got a field goal out of it. So I was like, okay. And then they allowed that giant play, and after that, they just looked lost and hopeless, and they are still in the playoffs.
You know what I love about
Love to
this
see it.
game? The Packers ran 43 plays.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that.
Aaron Rodgers completed 19 passes and 4 of them were touchdowns. The Packers just didn't have to do anything. It
Yeah,
was like,
I mean,
oh,
if you look
shit,
at the
we
time
scored
of,
again. All right.
if you look at the time of possession, Chicago had it for 35.5, while Green Bay had it for 24.5. Like,
Chicago ran 30 more plays also.
yeah, they had
God.
more first downs and more yards.
Packers are
They
still
just-
really good, and the Bears are mediocre and are in the playoffs, and I'm mad. Because
Yeah, the NFC is bad.
God, I can't
Well,
tell
I'll
you
talk-
how
I'll
badly I
talk-
don't want to watch Mitch Trubisky this next week.
We'll talk about that more when we get to the grid because I'll shit
Alright.
on them a bit more when we get there.
What's the next game?
Should we talk about the irrelevant games first?
Yeah.
Well, Saints Panthers is next, and that was pretty irrelevant. So
Yeah,
We're-
that was just the Saints herb stomping
The-
the
the
Panthers.
game-
we don't
the-
really need to talk
the important
about
game is the last one. I'm just going in order. So
it. Yeah,
Yo.
we
Uh,
don't.
the Saints demolished the Panthers to no
Uh-huh.
one's surprise.
I don't think anyone watched this game.
Yeah, me neither.
I forgot it was
Cared.
on consistently throughout the day.
Yeah, me too.
Teddy didn't look great,
He was bad.
and he got hurt, and the PJ Walker came in and looked
Yeah.
even worse.
No, I think he just got benched.
No, he hurt his foot.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
yeah.
fuck you, Jack. You should know
They
everything.
combined to
Fuck
throw
you.
5 picks.
oh,
so-
that's pretty.
Rodney Smith carried the ball 10 times. It sounds like my dad's
I don't
friend.
I don't think we need to talk about this game
Yeah.
because it was just a complete shitstorm.
There's one thing that is very worth mentioning, that Drew
What
Brees
is
is
it,
most
Austin?
likely retiring.
Yeah, oh
after
yeah,
this
there's also
Yeah, I
that.
did see that.
That's a
that's
little
kind of-
important.
Yeah, it's a little important, I guess, but like, I don't know. Yeah, but like, who gives a shit about the Saints?
Yeah, we'll
Fuck the
talk
Saints.
about it when he actually retires.
Fucking bounty gate bullshit. Fuck them.
Anyway,
All right, shut up. Don't care.
Chargers Chiefs happened. Chiefs
Yeah.
basically rested all their starters and they lost
Yeah,
38-21.
not surprised.
And even though they won, fucking Anthony Lynn got let go.
Big win.
You know, they really should have. Even though 7-9 doesn't look all that terrible on paper, because there's other teams that were 7-9, like the Vikings, who were
Yeah.
somewhat compatible. Chargers really
They-
should have won a lot more games.
They should have.
Yeah.
They should have been
They
over
should-
500.
Well,
They
all
would have been a
matter.
playoff team if they
Yeah.
had a better coach.
It would have been another AFC team with 10 wins.
Yeah.
I personally was kind of upset about the firing of Anthony Lynn. Not saying he's a good coach, but they ended the season 7-9 after 7-9 after starting it 2-7.
Yeah.
I feel like that's pretty respectable.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
like,
They really kind of found
If
themselves
you-
in the second half of the season.
If you saw how Anthony Lynn was playing, though, you'd or how Anthony Lynn was coaching, you'd understand why they should fire him. 'Cause I
yeah.
was
Well,
watching the Bills game.
I understand
and
why they fired
holy
him.
shit, his clock management is awful. Like,
Yeah,
I
he
could-
does.
Like,
Yes,
I
I'm not-
rarely play Madden, and I can do better than that.
I
It
don't
was
want to
awful.
defend him being fired. I'm not saying he shouldn't have been fired, but
Yeah, they
I'm
did
a
find
little
their
upset
groove.
because they found their groove and now they're gonna have to start all over again with a
Yeah.
new coach.
It's
Yeah,
a
that's
thing.
the only
It's like
bad
what I was
part,
saying a
like-
few weeks ago. How I was like, I don't think Anthony Lynn is per se a bad coach, like scheme wise. He's just like his clock management and his situational awareness is really bad, and
He's got
they
the
would have been in the
smooth brain.
playoffs 2 years in a row if they had somebody better coaching.
Oh yeah.
I don't think they
sure.
wanted to let him go because he did a bad job, putting them in position to win, but rather because he couldn't win those games.
Mhm.
And like they're looking at this is a team that can win now, and we have a coach who's not winning. So
Yeah, basically.
I think he'll make like a really good coordinator somewhere. But yeah.
I think
Yeah,
he could be a
probably.
really good like defensive coordinator.
yeah.
He was
definitely.
with the Bills and pretty decent.
Yeah. His teams look good. They put up points. It's just like when it comes down to at the end of game and it's like, you've got to make the right decision. And he's like, run the ball.
He also has the Chargers curse of missing extra points and field goals
That
to
too.
special teams.
That too.
And I'm sad because the Chargers were one field goal away from sweeping the Chiefs this season.
It's true.
Yeah.
Well,
So
anyway, 49ers
Seahawks
versus
Niners.
Seahawks. Yeah.
Game that also really didn't have that many implications and was also a really
Yeah.
shitty game until the fourth quarter. This game was, I think, 9-6 when I turned it off.
Yeah.
And then like 5 minutes later it was 26-23 and I was like, what the fuck? So
Yeesh. I only know one thing that happened in this game, and that was George Kittle making an incredible catch. But that's
oh
about it.
yes.
That
was
catch
fucking
was
awesome.
fucking sick.
Mm-hmm.
If only
CJ
Kit-
beat hard. Oh god, sorry.
If only Kittle wasn't injured for this whole season, I think he'd probably have more yards than fucking Kelsey.
Yeah.
Holy shit! And Kelsey has what, 1,500 or somewhere around there.
Yeah. Yeah.
CJ beat hard was all right.
He was there. He's
He
there.
played football.
it
Russell
well?
Wilson
Was it
did
good?
Russell
It was
Wilson
there.
things. Yeah,
I'll
I
be right
mean,
back.
Russell Wilson did not do good at all. but-
yeah, it
I'm-
really wasn't until the fourth quarter when
Yeah.
he started doing Russell Wilson shit.
Yeah,
got-
I'm really starting to question. I mean, yeah, at the beginning of the season, we're like, oh man, Wilson's really bailing the team out, but they played teams like the Giants and they played teams like the injured 49ers, stupid close.
Yeah, he fell off a fucking cliff. Anyway, you guys
Yeah.
keep talking. I'm gonna go get my food.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the annoying things. I had to watch this game instead of like the majority of the fucking Titans, Texans, or whatever, like a game that had actual playoff implications. Because everybody's like, "Oh, could the Seahawks take the number 1 seed?" And it was like, "No, the Packers are playing the Bears. It's not gonna fucking happen. It's Packers Bears in Chicago. What the fuck do you think's gonna happen?" So
Yep.
yeah. The Seahawks take an unlikely high-scoring victory. And then the game that I didn't get fucking see at all, even though it's a West Coast game, Raiders-Broncos. Let's talk about this shit.
What the
All
fuck are
time.
you
Can I
screaming
just
about?
say-
All time.
That's one of the best finishes to a football game I have ever seen.
Oh, the Raiders. game.
Delay of game on the defense. Holy shit. The Raiders. Oh my god. And then the Broncos. Okay. So I watched almost the whole fourth quarter of this fucking game.
I didn't get to see a second of it.
And
What the fuck?
so
Wait. Sorry, I gotta interrupt real quick. They gave me fucking wings with no goddamn ranch.
Who
Who
likes
does
ranch?
this?
Who likes
Ranch
ranch?
is good.
Fuck you,
What?
Jack.
What do
the
you
hell?
have like blue cheese or whatever?
This ad
No.
is sponsored by
Oh.
Wingstop. Please sponsor us, Wingstop.
Ranch
Anyway,
is great. Shut the fuck up, idiot.
football.
Fuck you.
Anyway,
I'm mad.
anyway,
Go on.
so the Broncos. Shut up, Jack.
Come on, talk. Stop stuttering, shit lips.
Oh my god.
So the Bronco-
Today.
Talk about
the
football.
Broncos coach, his name is escaping me right now.
Vic Fangio.
Yeah. Wow. He took all 3 of their timeouts while the Raiders had the ball in
Yep.
Broncos territory.
Mhm.
Yep.
First off, just to set that up.
The Raiders were like getting set to. Wasn't it like right before halftime, or something
No,
like that?
No, I'm talking about the Raiders' last drive where they
Oh
scored the
yes, that's
touchdown.
right. Yeah, and he
Yeah.
basically
Yeah.
just kept giving him more time to score.
Yes. Yeah, so the Raiders got 3rd and goal. Listen, it was 1st and goal and they came up with 2 pretty good pass defenses. And then it came to 3rd and goal and it was another really good defense. It was 4th and goal at the 1. And the Raiders were trying to draw something up and it was like down to like 10 seconds on the play clock and they took a timeout. And so the Raiders got set up and everything and they scored a fucking touchdown. And then they're trying to figure out if they should go for 2 or not. The offense runs off the field with about 20 seconds on the play clock. And then in the middle of that, the Raiders send the offense back out on the field. They're down to about 5 seconds left on the play clock. And he took a timeout.
Fuck.
Oh.
And then the Raiders get the 2-point conversion and get the lead 32-31. It doesn't end there. The Broncos, they had a really big like 40-yard pass to Jerry Jeudy on their first play with 20 seconds left. And he got tackled by like 3 Raiders and he tried to give the ball to the ref and a Raiders player took it and started running around with it.
Oh my
And then
god.
they called delay of game on the defense and put the Broncos in Hail Mary range. They threw in a quick incomplete pass to get a little more yardage to try and go for a field goal. They set McManus up for a 63-yard field goal, which he's kind of shown he's capable of getting there, maybe. And it got blocked. So it was the
Absolutely
best,
iconic.
It was the best ending that was just the perfect fit for both of these team seasons, and I loved
Yes.
every second of it.
2 weeks in a row that the only word I could use to describe the finish to Raiders game as inexplicable.
Oh, I love Raiders football for no reason. It's so stupid and doesn't make any sense. And
Also-
John Gruden is awful, but oh my god.
Also, they have another 8 years with that contract. 7. Either or.
That's John Gruden football right there.
Yeah.
And also, another thing that happened with the Raiders, Josh Jacobs got a DUI, a good old
Yeah, he
drinky
did.
drivey.
Uh-oh,
did.
drinky.
Oh,
Yep,
you know what? I'm gonna say it.
that's a Raiders moment right there.
Drinking and driving, pretty fucking cringe.
That is
Yeah,
true. I agree.
honestly.
Not cool, dudes.
I mean, you really
Yep.
didn't need to get that political in here, Matt, but
Yeah.
Also, a couple Browns players got caught street racing, but we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they're not like known.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway,
Because who gives a shit
Is it
about
time
the
for the
Browns?
Mauled game?
the Raiders
this game.
did Raiders things. Let's go into the best game of the week.
Oh boy.
All right.
Oh boy.
I
I
know
watched
some
the
of you
whole
guys have strong
entirety of this
opinions about
game.
this. I watched the majority of it. So, the Washington Sunday night football team is now the Washington playoff football team as they beat the Eagles 20-14 in a really bad game.
But did they beat the Eagles? Or
Did they beat themselves?
I'm gonna go with the
Or-
latter.
did the Eagles tank?
So,
Never mind, I'm going with that latter.
on one hand, I understand why players from the Giants were pissed that the Eagles essentially just gave up and handed a playoff spot to Washington. But at the same time, you should win more than 6 games if you want to be in the playoffs.
Yeah,
That said, I'm also mad because I wanted a 6-win team in the playoffs.
that is true. Yeah. I agree with that.
You're up 14-10 after or in the second quarter. Oh, the fact that only 3 points were scored in the second half of the game. They had so much time to work with, and they chose not to.
That game made me want to fucking kill myself.
I will
That
say
was that
this.
bad. Holy
Jalen
shit.
Hurts was 7 of 20 for 72 yards and an interception.
Oh.
He did run for 2 touchdowns, but
It's hard to win a game with no passing game.
Yeah.
And then they put in Nate Sudfeld.
and then they were like, let's take our third stringer and put him out there, who's played like 1 game ever. Because, and I mean, yes, it's a game with no consequences for the Eagles, and it's in their best interest to tank. But it kind of leaves a sour taste in your mouth when it's like you should be wanting to play spoiler for the team that you're playing, and like everybody on the Eagles staff was pissed that they basically just laid down.
Yeah.
And one that pissed me off really badly was it was like 4th and 6th or something like that at their own like 45 with like 4 minutes left, and they're down 6 points and they punted.
Well, it was 4th and 21.
Was it really that long?
Yes, it was.
I could have swore it was only like 4th and 7.
Mm-mm.
I think you messed this up on Sunday too.
Yeah, you messed it up on fucking Sunday too, and I was bitching at you then.
Anyway, it's still 4 minutes left. Why are you punting down 1 score?
Because it's 4th and 21, Matt.
it
what?
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. You're
losing.
not going to get the fucking ball back anyway.
The point of the game of the football is to win the game.
Why
Back
are
to
you punting
Joe.
with 4 minutes left? The odds of you getting
Because-
it back is to have the ball with worse odds than you have
Well,
right now with less
the thing
time with
is-
worse field position.
Well, I mean, the thing is, there's 4 minutes left, so if they punt it, they can like get a stop on defense, which probably won't happen,
Yeah, and then
yes,
the
but-
defense punts, and then they have the ball further back on the field with less time.
Yeah, but like, if they, but no, listen to me. So
if you can't make it
if they
20 yards
fuck up-
right now, why do you think you're going to be able to drive 80 with less time later?
whatever.
It's true. It's just the same way the Seahawks lost to the Packers
Exactly.
a year or two ago. It's
If
the
you're
same
punting within 5
stupid
minutes
concept.
left, you're not going to win. No matter how many yards it is to the first down. Like,
It's
you're
just
in
the-
a must-score right now position if you're
I don't
down
care,
1 score with less than
but-
4 minutes left.
I gotta change my shirt because I just dropped a wing on my shirt, so it's a little dirty.
God damn it. Yeah.
Give
Is
me a
Jack
second here.
real? Is Jack real?
I don't believe in Jack.
I guess I'll
don't
go
either.
fuck myself then.
Nice.
Anyway, but yeah, the Eagles basically laid down. They didn't have... Fucking Carson Wentz wasn't even dressed for the game, even though he's healthy.
Yeah. That was Carson Wentz throwing his own shit fit. He didn't get named starter, so he said he wasn't playing.
Yeah.
Really
Really makes... Yeah, great fucking leader, Carson. I know you're pissed
Yeah.
off that you got benched, but you played like shit all year, dude.
Yeah, he's deserved to be benched.
Like, you're
So-
not making a good case for a team to trade for you. Like, yeah, you should trade for me and pay me like $11 million a year, and if I'm mad, I won't play.
Yep.
The
Yep.
fuck, dude.
Not really a way to go out, but you know.
So yeah, the
He's
Washington
Yeah,
bloody
and
well.
the problem is if he gets the Nick Foles or Cam Newton treatment, he's gonna be placed if he does bad anyway
Mhm.
Bitch.
on whatever team he may go to.
Yeah.
So,
Carson Wentz not been looking too fresh, to say the least.
so I don't know what the fuck the future holds for the Eagles or Carson Wentz. He's gone at the end of the year. Alex Smith looked all right. He's 22 out of 32 for 2 picks and 2 touchdowns. So
Well, typical Alex Smith thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, with them getting rid of Haskins, I mean they really got to depend on him now
yeah.
for this playoff run.
Yep.
If you want to call it that.
So
Speaking of
Shut-
playoffs,
you know what? I'm gonna do this now. It's time for Dunyan Rings. I'm gonna say it. The Giants, Dunyan Rings.
Wow.
Yeah,
really?
They're not making the playoffs in my
Wow.
eyes.
That's pretty bold.
Wow.
Wow.
That's crazy. Never would have guessed that one.
So anyway, the playoff field is set. What?
I was nutting. I was gonna make a stupid comment.
You were nutting?
You were not hot. Sir, we are
said-
doing a
It says
podcast.
was nothing. God damn it. Continue.
Anyway, the playoff field has been set. Shall we head into pick'ems?
Mhm.
Yeah, sure.
All right. That is the end of the show. Austin said no.
Wild card weekend.
Starting with Colts versus Bills.
Bills.
This
Yeah.
game all depends on if the Bills defense shows up, and
This
if
is
the,
definitely kind of trap game vibe.
A little bit,
or
yeah.
if the Colts
No, that's not the
offense
trap
actually
game.
the entire offense shows up. But I'm gonna go with my gut, and I'm gonna go with the Buffalo Bills. And yeah,
Give me the Bills.
Yep, I think Josh Allen's gonna ball the fuck out. And
I do want to see how Jonathan Taylor will do. Considering he's coming off a hot week.
that is the thing I am very worried about.
Is if the rushing game's on point, they don't need to use Rivers much, which means they won't be throwing a lot of picks.
Also, the Colts have a really good defense.
Yes, they do.
Mm-hmm.
But
So-
I'm picking the Bills as well.
All right. A divisional round game in the first round, which would be
The
fun.
Bills don't win,
Or
I might
division
kill
ma-
myself.
rival game.
But
Rams,
Trap
Seahawks.
game.
this is even more of a trap game.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is the trap game of the week because the last time they played, it was like a one-score game the whole time.
Both times they played, and they
I don't
split the
know.
game. They split the games this season. Think-
this game's gonna suck, but I'm gonna go with the Seahawks.
I am
really
gonna say
depends on who starts for the Rams.
Yeah, if
Mhm.
Goff starts, I think it's going to be a good game.
Mhm.
I personally think they're probably gonna end up having to split the game with Goff and Wolford.
yeah.
That because they said they were saying that Goff he finally practiced for the first time today, and he didn't take very many reps. So that tells me that if he plays, it might not be the whole game. And maybe Wolford will get the start, and Goff might come in if they're like struggling, but he won't start. Something like that. That's kind of what I understand. But it's also a playoff game, and they could just throw him in there and say, "You do it."
Yeah.
But I'm picking Seahawks because I think they're really fucking good at home. So I think they'll keep that up.
Yeah, I'm going to take the
Yeah.
Seahawks as well.
Mm.
Garrett, did you ever make your decision?
I'm gonna be the odd man out and pick the Rams.
Hey, there you go.
Loser.
Yeah, I will lose this one.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Buccaneers football team.
Yeah, this ain't gonna be a trap game.
No.
No.
Listen to me. Hear me out. Look at Tom Brady's record against NFC.
By
East
the way,
teams.
there's locks this week also. I just want to remind you guys that.
Oh, fuck.
Look at the history of NFC East teams with Tom
Only
Brady.
6 games.
Has Tom
Fun
Brady ever beat an
Tom
NFC
Brady
East team?
Is
No.
0-3 in the playoffs against NFC East teams. Also,
that-
fun fact. Do you know
and
what
that-
happened in
What?
the last Washington playoff win? They beat
beat-
the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
And that is why I am locking the Washington.
Let's fucking go! I'm taking Washington as well.
Let's fucking go.
No, I'm
Um,
taking Tampa Bay. I'm taking them. I'm rolling with Tampa. They
No,
are
I
hot,
re-
and they are on the move for
I-
a playoff run.
I really want to take Tampa. I also really want to take Washington. Tampa. I really have no idea. I
Fucking
don't know.
pussy.
Why are
I
we
just-
split on this game?
Listen, I think Alex Smith in a playoff game is going to show up and be absolutely mediocre, just like he always has been in the playoffs. And so I think Tampa Bay is going to pull it out.
All right. Ravens, Titans.
Look at that
Ugh.
rematch
don't
from
know.
last 2 matchups
Mm-hmm.
they had this season. They won in overtime.
I'm going to take the Titans.
And last playoff game is infamously remembered as the game the Ravens had out. So, I think the Titans win again.
Derrick Henry is just too good right now. I'm gonna go with.
The Ravens have
Um,
a really good run game as well right now. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I think the Titans they figured out the Ravens better than anybody.
I think this is going to be a super high scoring game. I think they might both get the 40s.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, first I should say there's one of two things is going to happen. This is either going to be a big high scoring shootout, or they're both going to have each other figured the fuck out, and it's going to be like 7-3.
Yeah, Bills and Jaguars rematch type thing.
But I really don't know who to two to choose, honestly, because I can make very strong cases for both teams winning and
Well,
losing.
You
Here's
guys
the
are running
thing.
out of games to lock, by the way.
Here's the
I
thing
think
with this game, though, is that the Titans they're in Tennessee for this one, and the road team in this matchup, according to what I'm looking at here, is 4-0, and that team happens to be the Ravens.
Ooh, saucy.
So,
yeah.
if you look at the trends,
If you
I
take a
think
look at the
I'm-
trends,
I think I'm going to have to pick Ravens because I think Tannehill is going to struggle against the Ravens' pass defense.
Jack, you have the Titans as well, right?
Yep, I had the Titans.
Okay. Bears, Saints.
Give me the Taints. Sadly,
I'm
the
gonna
Bears.
I'm gonna lock the Saints.
Sadly, I don't think the Bears are gonna do well against them.
I am
It was a
definitely
good
locking.
season. 8 wins.
Definitely
It's like a
locking the
lot.
Saints.
8-8, baby.
Yep,
Give me the
not a bad
Saints.
season. Ugh. Sorry,
Garrett,
I
are
had,
you taking the Saints as
indigestion.
well?
I'm taking the Saints, but I really want to see the Vikings vibe come out of the Bears for this game.
God, you have no idea how badly I want to see the Bears win this game.
I want
All
them to throw
This
a
will be the
pass to
funniest
Allen
thing
Robinson
ever.
on the last play of the game and have a Diggs moment right
I want to
there.
see Kiss and Titties just put the team on his back.
I mean, in the last 5 years, the Saints really do be winless against
yeah.
NFC North teams in the playoffs in
Ooh.
New Orleans.
Let's
Ooh.
go,
fuck.
baby. Let's go. Let's go.
I mean, they're
So-
all the Vikings, but
For this next one,
Uh-huh.
I want you to know that I'm sure they're going to lose,
Yeah.
but this is a pick from the heart, from pure hope. I will be locking the Cleveland Browns.
And I will be locking the Steelers.
You son of a bitch.
I'm gonna
I've done this once before this season, and I won that matchup.
Let's
So-
roll.
I'm very skeptical about the Browns offense, but I'm even more skeptical about the Steelers offense. So I'm gonna go with
Well, Matt
the
said it earlier.
Browns.
They're getting Watt back, and remember when the Steelers played
That is true,
Jacksonville?
yeah.
They played
TJ Watt
stupid close.
basically made the Browns backfield his second home last time
That is
they
true.
played.
but listen to me.
no.
What happens if the Browns realize that the Steelers don't have a running game? So if they just
That is true.
they just like log up the fucking wide receivers, it's not going to be good for the Steelers because that
All I
run
know is I'm
game
locking
is
the
bad.
Browns.
So regardless
bad.
of what happens this week, me or Matt are going to have at least 2 losses.
Yeah, good. Fuck you.
I think I'm going to pick the Browns simply because I don't think the Steelers offense is going to have the firepower.
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
I really don't. Ben has not looked good at all. And
Yeah.
James Conner is painfully average.
What about
So,
playoff
3
quarterback Mason Rudolph?
true.
Uh,
This is true. They could pull Mason off the bench and he could just throw
could-
28 touchdowns in one game.
You
You never
it could
know.
Be like one of those. Remember the last time a team in Cleveland was picked 3-1 with winning odds? Yeah, it was the Cleveland Indians who blew a 3-1 lead to the fucking.
The
Chicago
Cleveland
Cubs.
what? The Cleveland what? Whoa!
Sorry, the-
whoa!
Did you say
Whoa!
Anyway,
Ooh.
What are they even called now? Are they called the Cleveland?
Cock and ball torture.
The Cleveland.
Cleveland
the
Steamers.
CVTs. That's right. They're called the CVTs.
Oh, keep OBJ away.
Oh. Well,
Anyway,
that's wild
Football.
card weekend. I can't believe again the Browns
Packers
are
and
the
Chiefs
majority.
get the wave from the sidelines.
yep.
Oh,
actually,
and
you know what? No. I changed my lock. I'm gonna lock the Chiefs. There's no way they're losing this week.
That's true.
No,
Never mind.
No, wait,
I'm
wait,
walking
wait,
the Packers.
No, this is how it works.
I wonder if it'll show up on the sheet. Hang on. Oh no, it doesn't show up.
Damn it!
All right.
Well,
Anyway, speaking of the, we haven't talked about the Chiefs at all.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Do
because
we-
they've had other starters.
Do we think they're vulnerable?
yes. There's problems there.
Right now, I would not. I would say the Bills are a better AFC team than them.
I think the Bills are the best team in the AFC right now.
Yep.
Like I said a couple weeks ago, I watched their game against the Falcons, who are arguably one of the worst teams in the league, and holy shit,
They look
That was a-
bad.
such a bad game. Oh my
They-
god.
yeah,
I was pulling hair out, and I don't like either of those teams.
they're basically
mean,
getting bailed out by really good coaching and really good
Really-
quarterback play.
Yeah, I mean,
and
I'm
really
like,
good receivers.
I am fond of both of those teams. I don't have anything against either of them, but Jesus Christ, neither of them could do anything right. And for the Chiefs to supposedly be, one of the best teams of, recent history, possibly the next dynasty,
Yeah.
that was bad.
Yeah.
Yep. Something I would not have I would have been surprised to hear is Bills being like 3 years ago. You look back, the Bills being the best team in the AFC.
Oh yeah.
That is weird.
It's like when we
Nathan
talked about
Peterman.
when I was
Yeah,
mentioning
basically.
my playoff predictor, and I was like,
Like
I don't know how much of this is like actual optimism about the Bills and how much I want them to be good. And then here we are in week 17, and I'm like, they're the best team in football.
like 3 years ago, they were bad. They had Nathan Peterman starting. Josh Allen looked fucking rough.
2 years ago, they made a player retire mid-game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they did.
2 years
Poor
ago. Yeah, that's what I
Vontae
meant.
Davis, man.
Yeah.
You know what sucks about him doing that
Yeah.
is if he was still on the team, he was really good.
Yep, he was.
So-
I know. Pain.
Hey, Jack, while we're
Okay.
on the topic, EJ Manuel.
That's not funny. Well, I mean, at least our team didn't pay Kirk Cousins $80 million.
Yeah, we did do that.
Yeah.
We're still paying Blake Bortles.
That's also really fucking stupid. You're also paying Nick Foles.
We signed Nick Foles to a 3 or 4 year contract and Blake Bortles to a 2 or 3 year extension. So we're
Yeah,
still
you-
paying on both of those quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Hey, and both of them are in the playoffs this year.
Good point. Yeah.
As
You got a
backups,
good
but-
point.
How about that?
And we could see Bortles play.
Oh God, I
Yep.
can't tell you how badly I want to see Blake Bortles in the playoffs.
You know, I'm not wishing someone to get COVID, but
Speaking of, it's worth noting that Cooper Kupp is off the COVID list this week, so he'll be playing.
oh yeah.
So that's
Hey,
one big
Lamau.
piece that the Rams need for
Oh, yeah.
sure.
I have. This is a stupid question, but back to the Bills and
Boy.
Colts game. How many times does Philip Rivers say frick in the game?
A lot.
Many,
7 or 77.
many.
I'll
fricks.
say at least 7.
Yeah. Yeah. Ugh, yeah.
I just looked at our locks, and it's insane that the Bills and the Titans aren't locked, or the Ravens, but we have the Browns and the Washington football team.
Yeah, why not? You fucking idiot.
There's so much chaotic energy in our
Yeah,
pickups this
and-
week. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm not battling
Yeah.
for anything because since I missed 2 weeks, so
Oh, also, I should mention that I won the regular season
Oh, that's crazy. I
thing.
didn't
I'm the
ask
number
for
one seed in the playoffs for
Wow.
pick'ems.
Wow,
So
that's crazy.
I'm just
yeah.
built different. I'm just better.
Yep, that is pretty cool, but at the same time, wow. Look at all the
Wow.
people who cared.
Yeah, I care.
That's like, I feel the smell of hot Cheeto and fedora.
I hate
coming
hot
through your
Cheetos.
and lies.
lines.
All right, hot take. Hot Cheetos fucking suck.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. It's literally they literally
they're
don't taste like
purely
any,
miserable experience.
Yeah,
they taste like nothing but hot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
I-
how grape soda tastes like purple.
I don't know why. Same thing with Takis. I don't understand why people like that shit.
I've never had Takis, so
Taki, you've never had Takis? What the fuck is wrong with you?
you just said they were bad.
Yeah, they are bad. But like,
Then why
a
should
lot
I
of-
try them?
That's like
They've
saying,
been
"Hey, have
around
you ever been to
for-
Burger King?" He's like, "No." Oh,
well, it's like, how do I put this? What's something bad that everyone has experienced?
that's what I said. Burger King.
Oh yeah.
Probably that's insensitive. Never mind.
No, you should say it. You should say
Okay,
it.
COVID-19.
Yeah, I haven't
Accurate.
experienced it yet, but you know. Well, just idiot. We're on a tangent.
Yeah,
need
we
to
should,
get
we should
off.
probably end this episode before
This
it
is
goes
about
further off.
football, not fucking COVID and
Talk about hot
Dick
chip
and
and
nuts.
lie.
Yeah, charge they phone.
Yeah, basically.
I'm doing that right now.
No football team born after 1995 knows how to win playoff games.
That is
All
true,
they know
actually,
is be bisexual, charge they
be
phone,
bad.
throw interception,
throw
eat hot chip and
interception.
lie.
Eat hot dogs on the sideline like Mark Sanchez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was oddly specific. Is there something
What I
you
love
wanna
about that
wanna
clip
tell
too
us
is how he's
never-
like trying to hide that he's eating a
You've
hot
never
dog.
seen the clip of
No,
Mark
I know.
Sanchez?
It's just oddly
Yeah.
specific for you to
Yeah.
bring up.
Because it's fucking hilarious. Just thinking about an NFL quarterback just chowing down on McGlizzy on the sideline while their team plays is just really funny to me.
I personally think it's funnier for Lamar Jackson to literally be like, "Hey, yo, I got a shit," and then just
Yeah.
That's pretty funny too. I like that one. Peep, poop, poop, glizzy.
Anyway,
Yeah.
we're getting way off topic.
Art.
This is Oofsides.
Why are we laughing at this?
We're on Spotify now, so if you happen to be watching that, there'll be a Spotify list in the description or link in the
No.
description.
No.
So go. Wow, real fucking supportive of the show, you guys are.
Yeah, fuck
Fuck you guys.
Yeah,
show sucks.
please fuck me. I'm
Yeah.
very
Well,
lonely.
yeah, obviously it sucks, but still.
what?
What?
We're gonna skip over that.
What?
I didn't even hear what happened.
We didn't hear anything. Okay.
Dude,
That's enough. That's enough for Oofsides today. I'm gonna wrap up the show now because Matthew can't wrap it up himself without getting
Maybe if you
distracted.
fuckers would
Like
stop getting on tangents, I could wrap it up.
We just
Well,
want-
anyway,
I
let me
just
just
want
say
to-
let me just say it instead of you being rudely
This
interrupting
is
me.
arguably
I'm
as
gonna-
chaotic as the.
Let me wrap up the fucking thing. This is Oofsides. This is Jack for Matthew, Garrett, and Austin, and we're done. Fuck you.
We'll see you next time. Oh,
You're
What a great
reporting.
Fuck you.
Jack, go to bed.
yeah.
Well,
He did with Dewey Conan.
Oh,
He ain't coming back, is he?